Today we're on the mighty Potomac River in Charles County, Maryland, just downstream from the nation's capital. This is the second stop on the 1991 Bass Angler Sportsman Society's tournament trails, and the bass are biting. Everything from topwater lures to crankbaits. You'll see it all right here when we return. I'm Bob Cobb. Stay tuned. The Bassmasters will be right back from the Maryland Invitational on the Potomac River.
They say this is where the big ones come for breakfast. They say this here spinner will have them jumping in the boat. Well, they convinced me. Now all they gotta do is convince the fish.
Wouldn't it be nice if everything else were as dependable as your Johnson outboard?
Never before has there been a fishing line for bait casters like the new Magnum 720 and 1440 oval-shaped lines from DuPont. Magnum 720 casts like a 7-pound, but is really a 20-pound line. And Magnum 1440 has 14-pound flexibility with 40-pound strength. Tough enough to bring big fish out of the heaviest structure. The super strong Magnum lines for bait casters only. Only from DuPont.
The untamed Kokori River, home of the New Guinea bass, the perfect adversary for Abu Garcia's new Gold Max reel. The evolution of Gold Max began more than 2 years ago when Abu Garcia's Swedish design team set out to develop a reel that would cast farther, fight harder, and outperform any other spinning reel you fished before. Listen to these words of wisdom from a famous Outback guide.
Don't bring silly tackle down under, mate. Be sure it's Abu Garcia.
For decades, fishermen have searched for the ultimate plastic worm. One that fish don't spit out. But the results have always been the same. Until now. Introducing the revolutionary Berkeley Power Worm. Formulated with flavor and scent enhancers, so effective, fish not only strike, they hold on. Berkeley Power Worms. Fish just won't let go.
The Potomac River, waterway to the nation's capital, and an area many Bassmasters feel is one of the finest bass fisheries in the country. But it didn't used to be this way. Back in 1968, President Lyndon Johnson called the river flowing past the Washington Monument and the Jefferson Memorial a national disgrace. That was before the Clean Water Act, the pivot point for the river's turnaround. Today, the Potomac is clean, and the bass are back in tremendous numbers, back in the creeks, around the sunken barges, and out on the grass flats throughout the river. The Bassmaster Maryland Invitational is the second stop on the Bass Angler Sportsman Society's 1991 tournament trail. It's during these tournaments the pros earn their points toward the final World Championship Showdown, the Bassmasters Classic. That's important. But so is the $175,000 these 315 anglers are competing for in this 3-day tournament. The winner will receive $14,000 in cash and a fully rigged Ranger bass boat valued at $20,000. Day 1. The weather forecast is good, unlike last time when Hurricane Hugo provided yo-yoing weather conditions, which even caused one day of the tournament here to be canceled. The anglers are fishing for a 5 bass daily limit with a minimum size length of 12 inches. It's here at checkout each morning the pros are given a weather advisory and the time they must return to weigh in. The boats are checked for safety equipment, life jackets, and operating live wells to ensure the tournament-caught bass stay alive for release after being weighed. Then they're off to places like downtown Washington, D.C. Fishing during the 3-day practice reportedly was tough, very tough. Changing weather conditions, fall turnover, and the breakup of many of the grass lines were mentioned as the reasons. But these professional anglers are used to rough conditions, and usually they'll still catch bass. The majority of the bass here are caught shallow using topwater lures, spinnerbaits, crankbaits, and plastic worms. While much of the grass has broken up, some remains, and wherever it is, the bass are usually in it. But because of the decline in the amount of grass, many Bassmasters are fishing structure, drop-offs and humps, like here. But where there's grass, there's bass. It's weigh-in time. Although the fishing's slow, some anglers always figure out how to catch the bass.
Out. Todd Cronick, Georgia, 5 bass. Hello, Todd. Glad to see you again. Tell you what I have seen is some of y'all follow these tournaments. I've seen a little fish like that cause a big difference in the money. Look here, folks. Cronick's weight, 14 pounds, 5 ounces. Let's give him a good hand.
And local favorite Piers Hackley comes to the scales.
Look here, folks. Leader. 17 pounds, 7 ounces. Bingo.
Day 2 of the Bassmaster Maryland Invitational. The weather is cloudy and windy with rain forecast. Most of the contestants return to the same areas they fished yesterday. Like Todd Cronick, who's fishing the main river close to the weigh-in site. This young Georgia angler is catching bass on a spinnerbait. And Texas pro David Wharton is also catching bass, but getting them to measure the minimum 12 inches is a problem. If an angler brings a short bass to the scales, he's penalized that fish plus 1 pound. A measuring board is an essential piece of equipment in B.A.S.S tournament angling. And Rick Pierce of Arkansas, Todd Cronick's partner of the day, also scores. The anglers are paired with a different fishing partner each day. B.A.S.S rules prohibit 2 anglers from the same state being paired together in invitational tournaments. Both Todd and Rick are fishing a spinnerbait pattern in scattered grass. Oh, Todd, what's that sign say? I guess we forgot to warn you there's a test firing range real close by. Stay tuned. The Bassmasters will be right back when our ears stop ringing.
The last reported sighting was in this area.
Oh, there it is now! Look at it! Oh, how wonderful and rare! An actual weedless trolling motor! Stay with her. That's it. Yes! Oh, to know they do it as they do! Oh, she's gone now. Oh, but how wonderful and rare.
The Ninja Prop, only on Motor Guide.
You know, ever since the new BP stations have come on the scene, big things have been happening. Millions of customers have been pulling in. You see, more and more drivers are discovering that high-octane BP Super Gasoline cleans their entire fuel intake system. So while our new stations have brought everyone in, it's BP Performance that brings everyone back. Sure is nice to be so popular.
BP on the move.
Recognized as the most elite class of fishing and family boats today, meticulously crafted with extraordinary attention to detail, and with exclusive RPM factory rigging from Ranger, legendary Mercury and Mariner outboards can be precision matched for premier performance. Presenting the 400 Comanche series from Ranger, sheer muscle and sophistication, producing a supercharged atmosphere of world-class proportions.
Todd Cronick continues to catch bass on his spinnerbait scattered grass pattern. He was in 3rd place this morning. A few more bass like this will keep him up there. David Wharton has the bass's number, but they're still on the small side. While these anglers are, of course, fishing for the biggest bass they can catch, a solid limit of keepers anchored with a 4 or 5 pounder will usually put a fisherman in the money. North Carolina angler David Fritz, in 5th place this morning, is also boating bass. This young Bassmaster is considered an expert with crankbaits, which he's fishing here near a drop-off on the main river, just below Washington, D.C. Day 2 weigh-in. tournament leader Piers Hackley had a tough day. 3 small fish. But others are moving up, such as Texan John Hale in 4th place this morning.
It's going to be a very important weight. He had 14 pounds and 1 ounce yesterday. He has only 4 bass, but they're very respectable keepers, folks. I want you to watch the scale carefully. Total weight, 9 pounds, 11 ounces. Let's give him a nice hand, and I must say, that's going to put you right up there into the lead.
And David Fritz, he has bass in the bag.
David Fritz, North Carolina. Now, David, folks, in 5th place. We're going to watch this very carefully. He has a limited bass. He had 13 pounds, 14 ounces, and has an excellent chance of pulling in the lead. Drain that water just a little bit more. I want to make sure. That's all right. Now, Fritz has got a chance to take the lead. Watch the scale. 16 pounds, 8 ounces. Bingo. Man, look at here. Lift the lid and pull a couple of these big bass out. I get one hook. You got, folks, he's got a remarkable bunch of fish. These are the 3 of the larger, but they're all good fish. And Fritz, I got to ask you the question: what in the world did you do? Now you were in 5th place, and you bring in a limited bass, the largest limit of the tournament so far, and you're taking the lead by a big margin. What in the world did you do that you didn't do yesterday?
Well, it's really what I didn't do. I should have had 20 pounds. I couldn't have no luck today.
What lure were you using? I know you can tell us that.
Well, maybe if I have a good day tomorrow, I'll tell you. There's a little trick to catching these fish, and maybe if I get fortunate enough to win this thing, I'll tell you.
Does Todd Cronick have enough to stay in the hunt?
Todd Cronick, it's 3rd place with 14 pounds and 5 ounces, and he has a chance to move up. Cronick's weight is going to be very important because he's got to stretch out. He's got a bunch of fine fish. Total weight today, 9 pounds and 4 ounces, and that's going to move you up. Hold it, 9.6. Mark it again. 9.6 it is, right.
And now Oklahoma's Don Leach, who started today in 2nd place.
Don Leach of Oklahoma, 4 bass. He was in 2nd place yesterday with 14.11. Brings in 4 bass today. To put him right up there, folks, but he's got to stretch because he's got a crowd coming on his hind side. 8 pounds, 8 ounces. Now, Leach, I've got to ask, you don't have anything remarkable, but it's a solid catch. What was the situation today with your fish?
I had to catch a fish completely different than yesterday. The good fish I caught yesterday, I didn't catch one fish on that water today.
You had to move off that water?
Had to move off. The tide just wouldn't get right.
Did you fish where you had not fished before, or did you have this as a secondary fallback pattern?
They were secondary, and they weren't very far away, but they were different.
You were there?
They were there, and they were different. I was lucky to catch them.
What's you playing tomorrow?
I'm going to go back and fish for the big fish and hope the tide changes.
Now that it's all over with, basically, what lure were you using to catch most of these fish?
I've caught them all on the spinnerbait.
It's all on the spinnerbait. All right, well, I appreciate you telling me the truth. All right, we appreciate it. Everybody please just stand on one leg.
Day 3, and the weather's good, clear and calm. Texas pro John Hale fishes his scum frog in the grass, and it's working. The scum frog is a hollow plastic topwater lure similar to the rat, which Dusty Pine used to win the New York Invitational this season. An angler must let the bass take the lure down before setting the hook. But even then, missed strikes are common on this type lure. This morning's leader, David Fritz, is having a problem getting the bass to bite, as during the past 2 days, he's fishing crankbaits. Challenger John Hale continues to catch bass. He placed high in this tournament last year, fishing the same type lure in grass beds, and it seems to be paying off. For the most part, the fishing is slow this last morning, and John Hale believes he knows why.
They're seem to be real spooky. Like I say, the main reason for that is the too many troll motors and too much pressure the last 2 days. Probably the biggest thing that's hurting me right now is that I have not established a pattern that works for me at high tide. All my bites have been coming at low tide on the frog, and not having established that high tide pattern has really been kind of to my demise.
But you can bet someone's catching bass, and we'll catch up to that angler when we return. Stay tuned. The Bassmasters will be right back.
Here's big news coming at you from Chevrolet. 3.9% financing, or $500 cash back on exciting new full-size Chevy pickups, plus $1,000 cash back, or 3.9 financing and $500 cash on new Chevy S10 pickups and Blazers. It's your time to buy. 3.9 financing or up to $1,000 cash back.
That's today's Chevy truck.
Bassmaster Classic champion, Rick Klein.
To win, you need the best. And take it from me, here's where you'll find the best in tackle and the best prices. It's Bass Pro Shop's Outdoor World Spring Sale Catalog, famous for name brand sporting goods at unbeatable prices. And you shop right from your own home. If you're a Bass Pro customer, your catalog's already on the way. If not, call today, 1-800-BASS-PRO, for your free money-saving spring fever catalog.
Catching a big bass like this doesn't just happen by accident. It comes from what you know. I'm Ray Scott, and the way I see it, bass anglers need to share their know-how. That's the reason I formed the Bass Anglers Sportsman Society more than 20 years ago. The whole idea behind bass is to get bass fishermen together to learn from each other, so you can catch more fish. You and I may not have anything else in common, but as fishermen, we're a breed apart, and that's why you belong in Bass. As a member, you get 10 big issues a year of Bassmaster magazine, packed with the latest bass catching how-tos from the experts. Plus, you receive your membership packet along with 9 more exclusive bass benefits, and if you join now during this special TV offer, I'll also send you a free copy of our newest how-to book, Winning Secrets of the Classic Champ, plus a pack of Berkley's Power Crawl worms, a bass spinnerbait, and Berkley Trimax line. It's all yours free with a $15 paid membership. Call now, toll-free 1-800-543-0600. That's 1-800-543-0600.
Unlike John Hale, Oklahoma angler Don Leach is far from the crowds. He's fishing a creek downriver, and he's catching bass. Don has already boated 3 fish with one over 6 pounds. Leach, a retired fireman, is now fishing the B.A.S.S circuit full-time. With fish like this, he'll be in the money.
On command. £4.5-pound fish. It's going to put me at about 13 pounds right now.
And now, John Hale's partner, Arkansas's Jim Nolan, scores. For this grass-bed angling, the back of the boat's as good as the front. Don Leach's fishing area is different from what most anglers selected this tournament, and it's probably why he's catching bass today.
Between you and I, all the way back, there's about 20 foot of water. And you got to go to the middle of the Potomac to find 20 foot of water. And this lasts about 300 yards. And people running to the creek, I think, have missed it because the channel's out there and it's all 4 and 5 foot deep. And I stumbled onto these fish in the pre-fish, and all I've done is watch the tide the best I could, and to be honest with you, I haven't figured it out. But it seemed like when it's down a little, I've been able to catch fish here, and when it's up, I catch fish way kind of out on the point. And I've just moved back and forth. It's close enough that, you know, I've been able to just keep fishing it. And I haven't fished any. Well, the first day when we got a limit, we did fish one other area that I thought I might catch a big fish in, but every fish has come out of here. And they've all come on this spinnerbait, little white spinnerbait. Every fish that I've caught, my partner's caught a couple on worm this morning, one on topwater. But might be the reason is I haven't thrown anything but a little white spinnerbait. And it's been real good to me. This bank, about a quarter of a mile, I'd guess. The laydowns, seems like they'll move in and out on the laydowns with the tide. And the shallower it gets, the shallower they get. You'd think I thought for a long time they had to be out on the ends when it's low, and it's not right. When it's up, they get out on the ends, and when it's down, they get right up on the bank as far as they could. And
Or that's what it seems like. I caught a couple of small fish just on the grass, just reeling, but most of the time they've been on this cover. And you throw four or five times at them, and maybe the next time you catch a big fish. That's how I caught this fish that I think will weigh 6 or so. I think I threw at him 3 times, and I think I did exactly the same thing every time, but maybe I fished it a little slower the time I caught him, I don't know, but every throw it was in a fork of a tree, and every throw had to be about the same. There wasn't much difference. And that's the way a lot of fish have come after 2, 3, 4 throws.
Back on the main river, the fishing slowed down for John Hale and Jim Nolan. Upriver, David Fritz and partner Guido Hibden, the 1990 Angler of the Year, are chunking and winding, but with little
I could use
success.
a couple hogs right now.
But back in Don Leach's secluded creek, the action continues. If things keep going this well, both these anglers will earn a paycheck this afternoon. When the competition started this morning, Don Leach was 7 pounds, 3 ounces out of first. The weigh-in will be interesting. And here is where it happens.
Leach, if you look at the scoreboard, 5th place with 23 pounds, 3 ounces. 4 bass today, folks. He's going to be a strong contender. 13 pounds and 14 ounces. Mark it. Now, my friend, you have just moved yourself into the lead in this tournament.
I'm glad.
All right, now let's pull out the 2 big bass and let's show these people out here what the 2 big bass. Now, folks, this is the magic of tournament fishing, when you can catch a limit or close to the limit and do what he's just done. Now, there is a bass that everybody in Maryland ought to be proud of. Let's give him a nice hand. 2 beautiful bass. All right, listen, we want to hold them and weigh the big bass, of course, if we may put a basket there. We want to weigh and establish a big bass of the day. And, folks, this is the difference in winning and losing. Watch the scale carefully. Leader for the day, 6 pounds, 12 ounces. Let's have a nice hand. Congratulations to you. Now, lay that bass in here, and we'll move these fish off. I must ask you a couple of questions. The tournament's over. I want to know the lure you used quickly and where you were fishing.
I caught him on that little white spinnerbait I was telling you about. Every one of them.
Every single fish?
Every single one of them. Terry Odom spinnerbait.
What kind of spinnerbait was it?
Terry Odom, screw lock.
Is that right?
Never lost a fish. Missed 1 fish and had 14 bites in 3 days. And I was lucky.
You did it right, my friend. What time of day did you catch a big bass?
10 o'clock. More or less.
That's wonderful. Listen, congratulations. You're right up there bumping the top. You take home a big pile of money. Congratulations.
I'm going to try to. I need it.
All right. Thank you so much. Nice hand, folks. That's a good job.
There's only one angler who can catch him, David Fritz.
Here he is, the leader of the tournament with 30 pounds and 6 ounces, and this shows you what can happen in bass fishing. We don't know what will happen. 2 bass. He was on fish, total weight, 4 pounds 7. I don't know what that's going to do, Fritz. That's going to be tough. It hurts all over.
Yeah, it does. I can't complain. I thank the Lord for what I caught. I had the bites today. They was just switching at my bait. I don't know what the deal was. I've been catching them on dead high tide, and just when it started going out, and I never had that today, and I think that might have hurt a little bit. I done the best I could do.
You had a 7-pound lead going in. Did you feel pretty comfortable with that, or are you still nervous? Were you nervous when you started?
Yeah, I've been nervous all day.
And the winner of the 1990 Maryland Invitational is Don Leach, his first B.A.S.S. win, a $34,000 payday. Right now, it's time for the Pros Pointer, the how-to section of the Bassmasters. Brought to you by Wrangler, the most comfortable jeans known to man.
I decided in this tournament that I want to fish a small spinnerbait, and I fish a Terry Odom screw lock spinnerbait. And I fished this, I wanted a small bait because these fish were getting a lot of pressure, and I just didn't think they were going to jump on a big bait, what everybody was throwing. And I fished a Colorado number 4 blade on a 3/8 ounce bait. And I was fishing white. And I ended up with no white skirts. So I was taking white and blue, anything I had, and trimming it down because I only wanted about 7 or 8 strands, white strands showing on that bait. And I wanted to fish it long ways. A lot of times you put a spinnerbait on where it'll flare out, but I didn't want it to. I wanted it to look about like a pencil size. And this is the actual bait. There's the blade, number 4 copper blade. Had a little white trailer and maybe 8 strands. And I caught every fish on this bait. I was lucky, I never lost it. And fished it real slow. I think it makes a difference sometimes.
It's the same thing every Saturday. He puts on those old blue jeans and goes out with that old dog, and he's gone all day. He says he's going to bring back dinner, but all he ever brings back is that old dog.
Here's to old dogs, Saturday mornings, and comfortable blue jeans. Wrangler.
A great first win for Don Leach, and we predict there'll be many more big paydays for him down the line. Now next week we'll be on board with Gary Klein, the 1989 Bass Angler of the Year, as he fishes Purtis Creek, a catch and release public reservoir in Texas. The topwater action is tremendous, and Gary will share with you the things which have made his career so outstanding. For the Bassmasters, this is Bob Cobb. We'll see you next week right here.
The Bassmasters has been brought to you by Johnson Outboards. Wouldn't it be nice if everything else were as dependable as a Johnson outboard? DuPont Power Lines, Stren, Prime Plus, and Magnathin. Abu Garcia, the world's finest fishing tackle. Berkeley Power Baits, fortified with flavor and scent enhancers so powerful fish just won't let go. Zebco Motor Guide, the choice of serious fishermen. BP, a leading producer of oil and gas for America's energy needs. Ranger Boats, we still build them one at a time. Chevy Trucks, more people are winning with the heartbeat of America. Today's truck is Chevrolet. Bass Pro Shops, world's largest supplier of premium tackle. Wrangler, the official jeans and shirts of the B.A.S.S. Tournament Trail. And the Bass Angler Sportsman Society,